Okay, here we'd like to demonstrate a little bit of a different approach to repairing leather. We have a chatter caused by an object raking across the seat. And what we have is little flaps of leather sticking up. You might think maybe we could sand those down. And that's possible, but then we'd have some filling to do. So what we would like to try, at least on this one, is to put some adhesive in here and lay the flaps back down so that they fill in the damage themselves. We're going to use for that the product leather adhesive. Leather adhesive is always good when you have exposed fibers because it penetrates down into the fibers more so than the other fillers. So we only need a little bit to work in. What I'm going to do is work this in both ways. And clean off the excess. Now, we're going to use the hair dryer to dry this, and as the adhesive is drying, we're going to make sure to push these flaps down so that they stick in place. Okay. So now all of the leather flaps have been laid back down. We still, of course, have some imperfections in here. So to fill these little imperfections, we're going to use the deep leather fill product. Deep leather fill doesn't mean too deep. Put it in thin layers nonetheless, because if you put it in too deep and it dries on the surface, then what's underneath will never dry. Still thin layers. This is our thickest leather fill product. I like to use a spreader, lay down and smooth this product over like that. You can see these lines of grain. As we dry this product, sometimes we can accentuate these lines of grain and put them right into our filler. We can stress the repair like this, and we have those lines already. So that's important in this repair especially. Now we're going to follow up, as we used before, the leather fill product, just to refine this repair a little finer. And we can rub this product in just to blend our edges from where the deep leather fill was. And we can also accentuate the grain in this repair as well. We can now follow up with a leather cream fill. Remember, this provides a nice finish. It may hide some of these small imperfections that we can still see. Notice by our application of all these products, we have not had to sand anything. My recommendation is to let all of these layers complement each other until the very final step. We'll put a colored guide coat on, and if there are still any nibs left remaining, we can sand those easily with some 400 right at the last. For now, let's just put a little color and see how far along we are on a repair. We've been pretty successful at this point of keeping our crick lines of leather moving through the repair. However, I do have a small imperfection here. Now here I may elect to use some 220 sandpaper. See if we can smooth that out a little bit and maybe a little more filler just for a little perfection on this repair. And we will dry sand, 220. And that's looking better. Put a little leather cream fill in that area. We're looking pretty good on the repair, but as always, for perfection, blending in with water-based spray grain is a good idea. Let's put in one light coat of color as a guide coat. Here again, this would be a good idea to feel. Sometimes the water-based spray grain leaves a bit of a rough feel because of the texture of it. And we would be happy to use some 400 grit sandpaper, just lightly, only until it feels smooth, leaving as much texture as we can. And then our final coat of color will finish this. So that really doesn't take much time. It's a very simple repair. We can save the lines, we can blend the texture and the color, and we're happy.